Hey guys, if you're just joining us, we are looking at Romeo and Juliet, the behind the scenes from the 1996 remake for our Throwback Thursday today. This is Karma Moses, the performing arts director and drama teacher at the Jesse Norman School of the Arts. And we are going to be doing a full course on the history of Romeo and Juliet here soon. So we're just watching a little bit of the behind the scenes of the Baz Luhrmann Romeo and Juliet remake and a little bit of commentary.
Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage in such a greeting.
So one of the interesting things that we talked about yesterday, probably when the audio was out, we talked about how Baz Luhrmann opted to keep the original language, even though he set the time frame for this version of Romeo and Juliet in a sort of modern day setting. So that was pretty interesting, and it creates an interesting contrast.
Villain am I none.
This is one of my favorite scenes, is the masquerade ball that they're at, because these costumes are wild. If you haven't had a chance to see some of Baz Luhrmann's other films, he has this really great and fun way of filming with like lots of quick zooms and cuts and all sorts of fun stuff. All right, let's see if we can find another behind the scenes. Let's go back here. And another thing I really enjoyed about this version in my visual and digital art practices, I tend to gravitate towards Catholic imagery. So there was a lot of Catholic imagery in the movie, and it was just visually one of my favorite things. And then yesterday we took a look at this a little bit, the elevator scene.
The elevator is a small room, 6 foot by 4. Our real difficulty was moving the camera around in a circular fashion as Baz wanted us to. It wouldn't fit inside the room, so we had to devise a mechanical means by which we could move the camera outside the room. It's great credit to the performers that they were able to perform with this noisy physical distraction happening right alongside.
So you can see what they're doing is just have this amazing mechanical system here where they're lifting up the wooden panels to make room for the camera. So what's great about that elevator scene when we're looking at it is how flawlessly it is pulled off, because you see the cameras and you see it's actually pretty, it seems pretty like it would be really noisy. And it is noisy, but here, we'll pull it back up again and just scroll through. Give me 1 second. Okay. So if you're just joining us, we were just looking at the elevator scene from the remake of Romeo and Juliet. And I'm actually going to mute this here because it is a little clicky-clacky. But if you can see how they were able to pull off this scene just by lifting these panels and pulling the camera around. And then when you see the actual scene, which we'll go up to, if we see the way the camera is about to pan, and you really wouldn't think it, you know, it doesn't look like it's requiring as much effort as you see in the behind the scenes. So that's really exciting. And just for fun, we'll take a look, see if there's any other cool behind the scenes stuff for this. Oh, well, there's one playing now, so we'll look at that one. We'll unmute it here so we can hear.
Right.
And this is the famous balcony scene. Gotta love all this HD graphics, huh?
That word, homie would love it. I'll give you bad present, but I shall never be Romeo. What man I found in this street night to some of the time I heard of maybe my neighbors say like that because rock, 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 rock. Oh shit, rock, rock. What's going on down here? Bring your hand around, D. Can't remove. Yeah, now break away to it. Wait. That's what I keep That's a wrap. Thank you very, very much. And then we can come back and finish the set. The actual light thing. Getting something out of the bed into that light thing. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I take you at my word. Give me a whole lot of improvised scat over it too, you know? You know what I'm saying there?
It's a very dedicated director. So that's really interesting, and that's why I like watching these behind the scene things, because I didn't realize that there was you know, any difference between her normal hair and a particular wig. And then if you see the way they're filming this, this is really fun to watch.
So get your clear on that, you cross the camera. Like this, and 10 minutes away. So start right up against the glass chest.
And even though we're talking about uh, film, as far as the theater and things like that, there's a lot that's reliant on imagination because we're watching and we're imagining that they're in this big pool, but they're really just, being filled in this tiny tank. So things don't necessarily translate from a film to stage, but the conventions of those particular spaces are worth considering when constructing your sets.
Cut, let's get him out quickly. Thank you. Matters. Form closed. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you. I think that's
If you're out there watching, please feel free to say hi as we are going through our throwback Thursday discussion on Romeo and Juliet, which we'll be discussing probably a few more times here in the coming weeks. My students wanted to have a project where they created their own version of Romeo and Juliet. So hopefully that will be our next fall project. But we haven't had a chance to look at it because of everything that's been going on. So that's why Romeo and Juliet is our throwback Thursday. Let's see here. Romeo and Juliet interview, 1996. Actually want to, let's see here. So this is really exciting. John Leguizamo is actually one of my favorite actors and comedians.
The essence of the play. He's the one that makes the whole thing spin around him because it's his rage and his hurt and his anger that really propelled the rest of the movie into the final third act because his misunderstanding of things and his selfishness. He hurts Mercutio. He kills him, trying to kill Romeo. Well, the thing is, he's one of these guys that you meet like in clubs or you meet in New York City who's like, he thinks he's good looking. He knows how to fight. He loves attention. He loves to be the center of attention. And when that's threatened by anything, then they're like bombs, time bombs waiting to happen. That's what he's like. He's just waiting to start a fight. The reason that Tipple's a great fighter is because he went to in the script. I mean, as Shakespeare wrote it, he went to the Spanish school of fencing and fighting. And then what Baz has done, the director, is that he's correlated the gunplay with the swordplay of the time. He created the same codes as if this was a sword-carrying society. Now it's a gun-carrying society. So you have still the codes of you can't shoot somebody in the back.
All right, I'm actually going to rewind and start that over again. I didn't realize the stream had stopped. So
the essence of the play. He's the one that makes the whole thing spin around him because it's his rage and his hurt.
And this is John Leguizamo talking about the character of Tybalt.
The rest of the movie into the final third act because his misunderstanding of things and his selfishness. He hurts Mercutio. He kills him, trying to kill Romeo. Well, the thing is, he's one of these guys that you meet like in clubs or you meet in New York City who's like, he thinks he's good looking. He knows how to fight. He loves attention. He loves to be the center of attention. And when that's threatened by anything, then they're like bombs, time bombs waiting to happen. That's what he's like. He's just waiting to start a fight. The reason that Tipple's a great fighter is because he went to in the script. I mean, as Shakespeare wrote it, he went to the Spanish school of fencing and fighting. And then what Baz has done, the director, is that he's correlated the gunplay with the swordplay of the time. He created the same codes as if this was a sword-carrying society. Now it's a gun-carrying society. So you have still the codes of you can't shoot somebody in the back. If you do a duel, it's with one bullet, one round in a gun, and you just can't shoot somebody for no reason. You have to be provoked. I guess what makes Romeo and Juliet popular is regardless of where you are in your life, there was a point in your life where you believe that there is such a thing as pure love and that you make any sacrifice for this love. And we all want to believe that even if we've lost that kind of innocence. Mercutio is sort of a wild one in the movie. You know, he's like our gunslinger, our fighter, our not much of a lover in that sense. He's a teaser player. He's magical. He's a lot of fun. I think he's the most fun actually of all the guys. So for a long time before I started acting, I was a dancer. That's like all I did. You know, I studied at Alvin Ailey's. I was in scholarship there, and you know, I worked my butt off there for 2 years. And I've also been studying martial arts for the last 5 years or so. So a lot of the tricks and things that are going on, the gunplay, the gun twirling, all the dancing, all the fighting stuff, my background has really helped a lot. You know, it's helped me be more physical. And I think Mercutio is completely physical and emotional and stuff. Oh, working with Leo's great, you know. He's a lot of fun. He's really smart. He's really on the ball. I mean, I've been a fan of his, you know. Okay, I joined the other 12-year-old girls and 13-year-old. I'm attracted to him. You know, no, I really love working with him, and you know, we seem to work really well together. We get along really great off stage, so that helps our chemistry because Romeo and Mercutio are so bonded. You know, and Leo really is there for me, and I'm trying to be there for him. So it's a great experience. You know, have a great time.
And that was he's one of my favorite actors. I remember him in Lost, and I loved him in Romeo and Juliet as Mercutio, just because of how elegant he is. He's a really elegant actor, and I actually didn't know that he was a dancer before he just said that in that interview. So that was pretty exciting to learn that because his movements are very dancerly. Let's see what else we can find here.
Tybalt is
No, back to the menu. Back to the menu. Okay, there we go. And in the first discussion that we had about Romeo and Juliet in the historical context, we talked about how nowadays we're so cranky about remakes, but Romeo and Juliet itself was a remade story. So we're going to take a look at this video here.
My name is Giulietta Cappello. I was born in Verona more than 700 years ago. They call me Juliet Capulet, but that's not my name. Our name was Cappello. That's our family emblem above the entrance. It's a cap, because we were hat makers. When I was alive, Verona was a dangerous place. The ruler was the Can Grande della Scala. Scala means stairs in Italian. Shakespeare changed his name to Prince Ascalus. He was real, and this is his tomb. This, they say, it's Romeo's house, but it's not. Romeo's family were the Montecchis, and they live outside the city walls. His family supported the Holy Roman Emperor. Our family supported the Pope. And that is the reason why our family hated each other. This also was the time of the poet Dante. He wrote much of his Divina Commedia in Verona. He arrived just after I died. The Can Grande told him the story, and Dante wrote our father's name into his book of purgatory. Vieni a veder Montecchi e Cappelletti, Monaldi e Filippeschi, uom senza cura, color già tristi, e questi con sospetti. Maybe our fathers are there still in purgatory. I killed myself.
Not to jump on the soapbox here, but this is exactly why I emphasize learning other languages. Even if you're not going to that country, even if you're not going to speak it fluently, at least being able to read another language really helps you build your characters and understand them in your own mind. So jump on Duolingo, friends.
In 1302. My family, they were wealthy enough to bribe the monks to place my remains just outside the walls, because I was a suicide. After all of those who knew me were gone, they threw my bones out like garbage, and they used my coffin as a water trough for the cows. Somehow our story lived on. It changed, of course. First, it was an Italian novella, then a French poem, and finally, Shakespeare and his balcony. It doesn't matter. I know what was real. They called me Juliet, Juliet Capulet, but that's not my name. My name was Giulietta Cappello, and I only wish to be left alone.
Well, that was sad. Sorry to bring down the room there, but it was really interesting to see the origin of the story. And like I said, we have so many remakes, but Romeo and Juliet, as told by Shakespeare, is honestly one in a long line of remakes. So we'll be diving more into that history at another time. And I think I'm going to go ahead and call it for today. But I just wanted to give you guys a little bit further taste of the Romeo and Juliet 1996 movie that we're going to be looking at with our interpretations here soon. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. I'm off to take care of some other things. But it was a pleasure as always, and you guys have a great day.